If I'm going to be flat out honest, I did not watch the game last night. I had no time to. As soon as I got home after I got back from work, I was dead. And the Eagles were also losing 19-0. Actually, no, 26-0. So it just hit me. I was like, I'm not going to watch this. And I found out Carson wasn't starting. And that a couple of people on the defense started, and that's really it. So I was like, okay, some dress rehearsal, exactly what I expected. I'm just going to go to sleep. And I just went to sleep. But I think, if anything, if there's anything that I have to talk about, if there's anything that I should mention, ARCEGA-WHITESIDE, 8 catches for 104 yards and a touchdown, I think. 1 or 2 touchdowns, one of the two. That guy is an immediate, yes, we got to get him on our 53-man roster. That guy, I feel like he reminds me of Alshon Jeffrey with his height and his hands, but the way he runs routes, it's off the charts. He looks really good, and after watching some of the highlights, I really want him to play with Carson. Seeing the way that Josh McCown, speaking of, Josh McCown, that throw for that touchdown catch was fantastic as well. So, I like the depth on offense. Defense, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about defense. Defense kind of got blown out in the first half. Again, we were losing 26-0 by the time I got home, and I got home around 9:30. So, yeah, that doesn't sit too well for me. But I'm not gonna look at it and judge too harshly because again, it is preseason. Most of it was backups, but that says a lot for our depth. That our depth isn't too hot. I mean, they've had a couple of good games the last 2 weeks, but the biggest thing is penalties. Penalties are bad. I heard they had like 12 penalties going into halftime or something like that, which is off the charts terrible. We cannot be dealing with that whatsoever with the regular season. And of course it's the starters. I know. The starters are going to be different, right? Because again, it was our depth. But still, I want to make sure that our team does not struggle. Because last year, a lot of the reasons why we had slow starts was because of penalties. Most of the time, if not lack of execution or poor execution. So, looking at the team right now, we have a lot of talent, especially with our starting offense and defense. Depth-wise, needs to get cleaned up a lot. There's a lot of good areas, a lot of places that need to be cleaned up. But overall, what I can say after the last 3 weeks of preseason is that this team is in a good spot. It's for the most part healthy. I know we're still dealing with Jalen Mills on the PUP list, Ronald Darby's recovery, and like Kamu Grugier-Hill has a foot sprain and everything. But at least the thing that I feel the best about right now is Carson Wentz being healthy. Because Cam Newton, I read earlier this morning, actually has a mid-foot sprain that they are being cautiously optimistic that he'll be ready for week 1. And that's in 2.5 weeks from now. So the fact of the matter is that imagine if Carson was put into a situation where you saw Cody Kessler yesterday getting destroyed in the first quarter. Imagine if Carson was in that position and our offensive line wasn't playing its best. We could be potentially dealing with an injury. And I'm not saying that our offense isn't good or anything. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying the possibility of him getting hurt in preseason is more likely than in the regular season, in my opinion. Because we've seen it happen to a lot of quarterbacks before. Sam Bradford's one of them. Carson Wentz is one of them. He broke a rib in preseason back in 2016. So it just goes to show that sometimes maybe playing in the preseason, it's not that worth it half the time. Sometimes to, fight for your spot on the roster or practice squad is a completely different story. But if you're a starter and you have a spot and you're either trying to get healthy or you're just staying healthy, going through practice and going through your own progressions off the field in practice rather than on the field in a game that doesn't matter, then I go for the safe side and keep you off the field. That's why I'm fine with seeing some of these people just suiting up, getting in that atmosphere like Carson and Deshaun, not playing too much or not playing that much at all, because at the end of the day, being healthy for the 17 weeks ahead in September through December, and if you're lucky enough, January and February, that's more important than playing in August. So I'm not too upset with Carson not playing at all after seeing what happened to Cam Newton. I don't want to deal with any injury going into week 1. Whatever happens beyond that, it happens beyond that. That's my bottom line. We have Josh McCown. Nate Sudfeld will be back. I'm not worrying about the quarterback injury or issues whatsoever. I feel like we're going to be perfectly fine. I think Carson's going to be perfectly fine. So let's just get through this next final week of football. Next week against the Jets at MetLife. the crappy crap trash game where we just see the rest of the third and fourth stringers battle it out for practice squad place spots or, depth chart spots. So we'll see what happens. Thank you guys, by the way, so freaking much for 1,000 subs. I woke up and I got a couple comments congratulating me. I was like, I hit 4 digits? What? That's crazy. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. It's cool. Really cool. So, can't wait for the Eagles to start the regular season, guys. It's going to be great. It's going to be fucking fun. I cannot wait. So, hey, go Phillies, go Sixers, go Eagles fly specifically, and I'll see you guys next time. Yeah. Have a good day.